So I got this killer deal on tires. These are Surly Knards 26 by 4.8. Also, the conditions are a little warm, so it's going to get into the 40s today, and what happens is the snow gets really wet and then the ground isn't quite firm enough, so we can't really open up the trails for fat biking yet because it'll do a lot of damage to the trail surface for the summer months. So it's kind of a tough time of year when we're in this transition with temperatures. By the end of this month or early next month, we'll start having cold enough temps where we can open up the trails. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about tires and tire tread and kind of the purpose of them. Windy again. Love this trail. Woo. Might have to overshoot some of these this time.
Here we go. Chad. Oh.
Oh yes. Can't believe I just did that. Okay, so here we are. I brought my fat bike out to compare tires. So we'll take these, and you can see the tread pattern on these Surly Knards, and then we'll compare them to the tread pattern on the Surly Loo. So the Loo is the rear tire, and the Bud, Surly Bud, is the front tire. So you can see the tread on the front tire is mostly what do you want to call it? In line with the direction of the bike. Let's say that. And so what this is for is steering, and you don't need traction because you're not putting power down on your front wheel. You need traction for steering. So this is designed to kind of catch the snow or sand or whatever you're riding in for when you're turning and making the bike turn. As when you get back here, this is more of a paddle style tire, maybe you would like to call it that way, like drain pipes right in the way. And so these knobbies are designed to kind of grab the snow, and you can see that it almost looks like it's on backwards, but actually it's on this way because the tire is going this way, and it's going to grip the snow and propel you forward. So that's what this tire is designed. Now we come over and we look at these, and it's like, well, they have pretty much an even pattern. It doesn't matter which way you flip it, anything, and they're a much smaller knob and things like that. So this tire has a different purpose than these tires over here, right? So these to me are very dedicated to like softer, deeper snow conditions, things like that. They're actually the same size. So this is a 4.8 and these are 4.8s. So they're the same size, but the tread is vastly different. If you look at these Knards, you'll see you kind of get almost a center rail. So you have this knob, these two, that knob. And so if you're riding on a hard surface, whether it be packed dirt or even pavement, you kind of have a tread that you can ride on and get a smoother ride out of it. You look at this, that's all more spaced out. So like on harder surfaces like hard packed dirt or pavement or whatever, this is gonna be a much rougher ride. It's gonna vibrate more, it's gonna actually slow you down more, things like that. Here on the front tire, you're probably a little more fortunate with this kind of center ridge on pavement and such. So like if you were to ride on hard packed dirt or even on pavement a lot and you wanted a more aggressive tread, you could get two of these and put Surly Bud on the back. But that just doesn't make a lot of sense because it's like, why have all this aggressive tread for those kind of conditions? So for me, I got these tires more for dirt or packed dirt in situations like that, or in situations when the snow is really packed tight, or for commuting or something like that, and I can run these. So what I really plan to do is, once we actually can get out on the trails, what I'll do is I'll run these, I'll play around with the pressure, do that, and kind of talk about it in my channel. And then I'll run these in the same conditions and lower pressure and play around with it. And we can compare and see the differences in those circumstances. And I mean, I can kind of predict that obviously in a more snowy situation, these are going to grab better and these are going to spin and slip even if I lower pressure quite a bit. But you could still probably make these relatively effective by lowering pressure. It'll be an interesting test anyway to actually apply in the real world. We can make all kinds of assumptions, but sometimes it's surprising what tread patterns like this will actually accomplish. They look like they wouldn't do much, but when we put it to the test in the real world, we'll see. We'll actually get to compare it and see. So that's kind of a little bit of lowdown about tires. And even we're talking about fat bikes here, but this same kind of concept applies to other bicycles, like mountain bikes. Like if you look at like a downhill tire tread versus a cross-country tire tread, you'll see a similar thing. Downhill bike or enduro bike tire treads will be a lot more aggressive, and like a cross-country bike will be something more like this, because these are lower rolling resistance, made more for speed and decent traction. These are all for like really digging in and really gripping in the loose stuff and stuff like that. So that's just, you know, what I know about tires and my experience. I've been doing this a long time, mountain biking, at least 30 plus years. So the other thing that I want to do is, I know online I saw some 27.5 wheels, and believe it or not, my bike will actually fit 27.5 by 4.0 wheels and tires. So 27.5 is going to be a little bit larger diameter rim, and a 24-inch tire, or 26-inch by 4.0 tire is going to be smaller, and so the overall diameter will be roughly the same. But because of the larger rim, the tire will have a little, it's hard to explain, but there'll be more surface contact with the ground. So that's been a popular setup on a lot of newer fat bikes, is 27.5 by 4.0, and a lot of people say that's as much traction as a 26-inch wheel with 4.8s or 5.0s. I'm skeptical, but I can get a set of wheels and tires set up that way and try them on this bike. We'll see if I do that. It's, you know, about a $800 or to $1,000 investment to do that, but it might be worth it, because if those other wheels are faster for certain conditions, especially if I decide to do any fat bike races, those might be a better option than running these guys. So we'll see. While we're talking about it, I do have the Black Burrow. And the Black Burrow it's a longer wheelbase bike, but I'll also take this out on the trails and kind of compare it to the Fat Boy. These are 27.5 by actually 3.8. So the rim is a little bit bigger diameter. The tires got a lower profile, but it's still a pretty large pattern. So it's just going to be interesting to test all these scenarios out. You can't really, like, I can't switch these wheels over to the other bike. I wish I could save some money, because that's a rear through axle, and that Fat Boy I have is regular quick release, so I can't really do that switch. But we'll just do some fun stuff with this. Like, why not? Kind of fun to experiment and play around and put this information on my channel that other people can refer to and see. Cool. So looking forward to doing some of that stuff. Gotta wait till it cools off a bit and we get some good winter riding conditions. Really excited about fat biking this winter. I didn't get to do much of it last winter because of my knee surgery. So like your support, please subscribe. Subscribing really helps me. Still trying to get to that magic number of 1,000 subscribers, so it gives me a few more options with my channel. And like this video.